This is Skip Unleashed, brought to you by Underdog. I want you to think about something that I've thought a whole lot about. Saturday, 8:30 Eastern, out here in Los Angeles, LeBron James is going to play Game 1 of a first-round playoff series against a coach who called LeBron to his face a bitch, and a coach who publicly referred to LeBron's son Bronny as a little bitch. Has anything like this ever happened in the history of the National Basketball Association? That coach is Ime Udoka, my favorite coach in all of the National Basketball Association. I have believed in Ime, in his toughness, since he sat first assistant, right hand of God the Father Almighty, Greg Popovich in San Antonio from 2012 to 2019. They won the championship, of course, in 2014. As they blew LeBron's Miami Heat off the floor by a record finals margin. I followed Ime as a player because he twice played for the Spurs that I loved, the Duncan Ginobili Parker Spurs. Bounced around the league, defender, tough guy, enforcer, 6'6", played at 220. Maybe now at age 48, he weighs a few more pounds. All I know for sure is Ime ain't afraid of nobody, especially no LeBron bleeping James, the all-time leading scorer in the history of the NBA. Ime ain't afraid of LeBron. And it all started during a game. This is December the 2nd of 2023. Lakers way ahead, 8:35 left in the fourth. This is out here in LA also. And Ime Udoka, head coach of the Houston Rockets, called LeBron James soft during a timeout, during a dead ball situation. Called him soft and then said, "Stop crying like bitches." This is Ime to LeBron out on the floor as LeBron is sort of walking toward him. And LeBron says, we're all grown men. That bitch word ain't cool, LeBron says. And Ime responds, "I said it," eye to eye with LeBron, who's maybe, 5-6 feet away. And LeBron counters, "Don't use that word so loosely." LeBron, that's all-time soft response. You got to do better than that. And Ime repeats, "Stop bitching. Stop acting like you're over here to do something." Ime blatantly, openly, eye to eye, man to man, with LeBron just a few feet away, sort of easing toward Ime, is saying, "Stop acting like you're over here to do something about it." He's daring LeBron to do something about it because he knows LeBron ain't doing nothing about it, not to Ime Udoka. Yeah, LeBron's the face of the league and the face of the franchise. We get all that, but it's interesting. A month or so ago, I did Draymond Green's show out here in LA. We went back and forth up on stage before a couple hundred people for 2.5 hours. And we walked back through all of Draymond's career. And he did admit to me that the one regret that he has after all the dirty plays that he was part of, but the one regret that he did have, he didn't like it that he crossed the line and called LeBron a bitch. That, of course, happened during Game 4 of the 2016 NBA Finals. He and LeBron going back and forth. They go on up the court. They get tangled up. Draymond kicks him in the midsection as Draymond was wont to do to lots of people. But he had called LeBron a bitch so loudly that Kiki Vandeweghe, then the NBA Minister of Justice, heard it in whatever row, he was third, fourth row, heard it and said, that's it. The NBA said, that's enough. There was such a body of dirty work that Draymond had built that something happened that I thought I would never see. A key cog of a championship team, the guts and glue of the Warriors, Draymond Green, got suspended for Game 5 of the NBA Finals. And it flipped the series on its head. And I'm sure, as Draymond said, he regrets that, but he regretted crossing a line that he said you just can't cross with another man to call him a bitch. Well, Ime crossed it to LeBron's face and stood by it. And then after the game, he was asked in his post-game interview about it, a group of reporters, and Ime said, we had some conversation, and the refs didn't like it. They didn't like what they heard. And one of the reporters said, was this between you and the official or you and LeBron? And Ime says, between me and the player. He wouldn't even call LeBron by name. Between me and the player. Oh, not backing down. No apologies from Ime, as I got from Draymond. And here's what I loved the most about that exchange. Ime didn't talk to LeBron while covering his mouth so that nobody could lip read. No, he wanted it known. He wanted it out there. He wanted the lip readers to have their day on YouTube. He wasn't running and hiding and ducking. No, he was saying what he wanted to say out loud to LeBron within earshot of the referee. JT Orr is standing right there listening to this back and forth. He's right there, and Ime knows what is coming. He knows that at some point JT Orr is going to have to stop this with technical fouls. And he did. Whistle, tech, double tech. Ime already had one, so Ime gone. Ime wanted to be gone, but he most of all wanted to make his point to a LeBron James. I ain't afraid to call you what you can be on occasion. You can be soft. You can be a baby. You can be a diva. You can be a bitch. And Ime's got no bitch in him. No use for, no room for anybody who acts like a bitch on a basketball court. Because as you well know, Ime has slowly but surely molded the Houston Rockets, right along with the Detroit Pistons, into one of the toughest couple of teams in the league, the best rebounding team. You can argue the most physical team, though. Detroit is right there. You can argue one of the best defensive teams with Detroit. Oklahoma City does it a whole nother way. Thunder not quite as physical. They just swarm you and take the ball away from you and score points off turnovers. But the point here is that Ime is sending a message both to LeBron and to his team. I ain't afraid of him, and we shouldn't be afraid of him. We should take it to him. Now fast forward to a game that was played in Houston. This is back. The Lakers played two straight. Back this second game, Wednesday, March 18th. Once again, Lakers ahead. Only 30 seconds left. It's pretty much of a blowout. Luka went for 40. 30 seconds left of the game, and Ime yells down the sideline to the opposing coach, the visiting coach, J.J. Redick. He yells, JJ, put that motherfucker in. Put that little bitch in. Please, please. That's the lip reading quote. He's referring to, gesturing toward Bronny James. He's daring JJ to put Bronny into the blowout because clearly Ime has little to no respect for Bronny as an NBA player. He's calling out Bronny also. He's basically, to me, between the lines saying, hey, the only reason that kid is on your bench is because of that guy. The guy he called a bitch. So he's not only calling out Bronny, but he's calling out Bronny's father. What? How wasn't much more made of this? I know LeBron's the most overprotected athlete in the history of the world. But Ime did that after he called LeBron a bitch to his face. He's openly referring during a game, yelling down the court toward JJ Redick about Bronny. Put that little bitch in, please. What? Ime said that about Bronny? You remember what happened when Stephen A. had something to say on First Take about Bronny, how LeBron confronted him in Stephen A.'s courtside seat out here at the crypt. Remember that ambush by LeBron? Keep my son's name out your mouth. Remember that? Okay, LeBron, you're on. So, look, I realize LeBron James is 41 years old. You're 23. And all of a sudden, he's been thrust from third wheel into sort of first-ish wheel for game one out here in L.A. against Ime Udoka's Rockets. Lakers are a 5.5-point underdog because it remains unclear whether Luka or Austin Reeves will play. I assume they will try. I've talked to a lot of people around the league about Luka going to, I guess it was Spain, to get injections in his hamstring. Longtime trainers tell me once you start injecting the hamstring, it never responds to the needle. It's the biggest muscle. You just can't mess with it. You just have to let it heal on its own. Supposedly it's a grade 2 strain, and there's got to be some tearing going on. I don't know what shots Luka got. PRP, stem cell, maybe HGH. Are they going to test him when he comes back? No, they're not. So I'm going to assume, even though they're out indefinitely, that Luka and AR will try to play. Ime will hunt both on defense, try to make them work, see how healthy they really are, how much they really have healed. But the point is that the onus falls on age 41, year 23. And LeBron has been great lately, just great. I say it again, most durable athlete in the history of sports. He is the longevity king. He is playing at the highest level of a 41-year-old we have ever seen. Not even close. Does that mean he's the GOAT? Stop it. Still nothing but the phony GOAT. But is he playing at an extremely high level? Does he look 41 going on 28? Yes, he does. Give you that. So here's the situation for LeBron James. I have carefully watched his career since my days on Cold Pizza back in New York City, ESPN2, starting 2004. And what have I regularly seen and lauded and applauded? That LeBron has been at his most dominating when somebody pushes his mad button. Saw it one night, maybe it was a day, in Atlanta. I can't remember. There's a courtside heckler, and LeBron exploded on the Hawks at Atlanta. And then there was a courtside heckler at Toronto. And I watched LeBron James annihilate the hometown team because of said heckler. Then there was the incident during the pandemic when there were no fans in the stands. LeBron went back to Cleveland. And remember, Jason Hillman of the Cavs staff was one of the few people actually watching the game. Lakers trailed by 2 at the end of the third quarter, 89-87. LeBron shot I think it was a 14-foot turnaround that bounced around the rim, fell off, and Jason Hillman stood and clapped loudly. You could hear it echoing through the gym. And it really pissed LeBron off. And in the fourth quarter, he took it out on the home team, his ex-team, the Cavaliers. He nuked them. Jason Hillman pressed the mad button in LeBron. And so I've been wondering, is LeBron thinking about this? Is LeBron, as he builds up to game one as the underdog, is LeBron angry about this at all? Is it starting to push his deepest mad button? Is he thinking, that no good mother? Is he thinking that? Is he thinking, I got something for Ime? We'll see who's the bitch on Saturday at 8:30 Eastern. Is that what LeBron is thinking? Because that's what he should be thinking. Or is he afraid of Ime? Not that I want to see him fight. I don't. But just hypothetically, just theoretically, if it did come to hand-to-hand combat, LeBron, I got to be honest, even though it's 48 years old versus 41, my money's on Ime. He'd kick your ass. If you want to go out in the alley and fight, he would kick your ass. Physical player, tough guy, commanding officer. He would kick your ass. So, are you going to kick his team's ass so that, in effect, you can kick his? Are you going to get even with him for what he said to your son? Are you going to take it out on him the way you ambushed Stephen A., my brother? Are you going to remember what you did to Dylan the Villain when he was a Grizzly? Remember when Dylan the Villain called you old and then went over to you in the Laker huddle just before tip-off and whispered some insult in your ear? Remember that? What'd you do to him? He pushed your mad button. You said, okay, watch this. You took it out on the Grizzlies. You sent them reeling straight into the offseason, into the night. Is that what you're going to do to Ime Udoka, LeBron? I challenge you to. I dare you to. I dare you right here, right now, to make him the bitch. To show him nobody says that about your son, and nobody gets away with saying that to your face. That's what I want to see, LeBron. I want to see you respond. I can't believe that people haven't made more of this, but I am right here, right now, because to me, the B word, that's a fighting word. At least you can fight back. If you don't want to actually fight him because you're afraid of him, at least you can take it out on arguably the most physical team in basketball. You're going to have your hands full, but Are you going to play mad? Because, LeBron, trust me on this. You're at your greatest. You're the closest I've ever seen you to even being remotely in the GOAT conversation when your mad button gets pushed. Did he push it? I'll be watching.